Alright, so I got all my stuff loaded up here. I got a couple of boxes of stuff, some of the footprint casts that me and Joey made recently, some of the books I've been studying, the quantum physics books and tracking books I've been studying, stuff like that. I got some stuff to set up and show off some of the photos and stuff I have, and the 2 easels and posters there that I made with the animal tracks, the how to do the footprint measurements and step and stride, all that, the maps of the green swamp. So I'm gonna set up my equipment here too, the tri-field meter and thermal camera and the camcorder, so people will see what I've been using out in the field. Alright, so we'll be heading out to Ocala here in a few minutes. It's a little over 2 hours to get up there. Alright, so we just got here.
Yeah, we tried it.
So this is a community center here in Ocala. So we're fixing to go in. So we got an hour before it starts, so we're fixing to go in and get our table set up. So I got everything there. I got to get out, and me and Lynette's going to go in and get set up. Hey, how you doing? I'm going to film this for just a few minutes. We're taking a break now so I can film it better. So this is all my pictures and stuff that I'm showing all my evidence. The footprint cast. And I got a bunch of free stuff. Bigfoot tattoos and stuff for the kids to color. The footprints, sheets, pins, some little Bigfoots. Motherboards, and I brought my cameras and stuff that I use.
From Florida. We have Marion Gant from the BFRO. Glad to have her. We love her. We love everybody in this group. We have Pam Esper. She's my right-hand man, whatever you want to say. You know that saying. We have James over there. That's right about James. That's why I'm doing that. I should be doing this, right? Hold on. Get some of this out of the way. This is just some of our discussion.
And there is a logo on that side.
This different world. This Kathy and then let her put this on.
There was no track.
So James, he's our sensitive. When James says he feels energy, you better get your cameras out and start taking pictures, because we have verified it many times to where, you know, I'm not sensitive, but things happen to come out in my pictures. I looked it up one time. It does mean something when something comes out in your pictures. A lot of people take pictures, they see nothing. Some people have everything. It is an actual name for that, but don't ask me what it is. But so he's a sensitive to the spirit world since childhood. Often seeing and helping spirits through cleansing and rooting in the Christian faith. And in 2011, he became ordained and has led several paranormal groups over the years. At 17, he had a life-changing Bigfoot encounter, which he's going to tell you about, which inspired him to begin researching cryptids, forest beings, and spirits. With decades of experience in both the paranormal and cryptid fields, James brings a wealth of knowledge into the Bigfoot world. And so he'll tell you his story when we get to the Q&A, right? Most likely. Okay. Rebecca's not here. This is Rebecca and Teddy. She actually, she's on vacation. It's her birthday weekend. She couldn't make it. But she researches with the Coochie area, and sometimes we all get together, and sometimes we, you know, do it separately because of where we all live. And she has a little Teddy, and Teddy warns us when things are going on, and that's another time. Start taking pictures. It's all in the picture sometimes, in the video, believe it or not. And we have Marion, BFR investigator. Exploring the outdoors where love and adventure in the film The Creature from Bonnie Creek sparked her fascination with cryptids.
How many people had that happen? Boggy Creek when you were kids?
Her interest deepened when a close family member had a Bigfoot sighting, turning childhood curiosity into lifelong passion. Today, she continues to explore the mysteries of the unknown that captivated her as a child. Thank you, Marion, for being here. And we have Brooke Moreland. Brooke Moreland is a dedicated Bigfoot field researcher and the creator of the podcast Dark Florida, where she explores mysteries of the Sunshine State and beyond. An avid hiker and a nature enthusiast, she spends time deep in the wilderness searching for signs of Bigfoot and documenting the unknown. Brooke's adventurous spirit, sharp eye, and open mind approach drive her research, blending curiosity with respect for the unexplained, inspiring to others to look deeper into the mysteries of the natural world. Brooke Moore. Thank you. Then we have Dan, back in the back. Thank you, Dan, for being here. Dan's interest in Bigfoot began as a teenager, inspired by the grandfather's stories of encounters of the Pocono Mountains. He continues a legacy by sharing his own experiences and searching for the truth. An avid outdoorsman. Sorry about that, Dan. Dan enjoys archery, kayaking, fishing, and Bigfoot research. How about that? Now, I think it's okay to begin now. Yeah? You know, I don't see a flow of people coming in. Okay, so anyway, for the people that did flow in, thank you for being here. I really mean that. It means a lot. This is our first time. Maybe next year we'll do it again and maybe have more evidence and maybe more speakers and see how it go from there, where we go. The first thing I want to do is this. As you well know, we have a Facebook page, okay? I don't call us a team. I don't like the term. And I'll tell you right out, we're a group. And the reason why we're a group is I got people from Australia. I got people from, I forgot where Catherine Norris is from, for the life of me. We got her, she's from another country. We got people from other states. And they go through my footage. And you know, there's times they find stuff that I don't have time to look for because I'm too busy going through other stuff, or I'm in the woods. So they help a lot, and that's part of our group. So that's why I like to always thank them for everything they do. All my online followers, thank you if you're here watching. Appreciate that. So moving forward, that's why we're a group. And I would like to introduce Tim T in the back. He will be speaking later to let you know. Okay. I'm so glad you're here, Tim and Mike. Thank you for coming out. Really, thank you. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I have nothing memorized or papers or nothing, so we're just going to go with what happens on the screen. This picture. So this one right here. Can you see my mouse up there? So you see this little spot right here? I know I have some online people watching. Hello, just wanted to say I'm still thinking about you. I didn't forget about you. They're all good. I love my group. Okay, here comes Tim T. All yours.
Okay, I didn't bring anything to put up on the TV there, but I have stuff in the back on the table. I have a lot of evidence, and I'll show everything that I catch. I've been doing this for 6 years now, and when I first started doing this, I got tired of seeing the stuff on TV that they wasn't showing anything, and I got to looking around a bit on YouTube to see if anybody in my area or here in Florida even was showing anything about any kind of Bigfoot or anything like that here in Florida. So I found 2 channels, and I started watching them a little bit, and that I seen were actually showing something. And I've been hunting all my life, and I've heard other hunters have been sitting up in their tree stand, all of a sudden a Bigfoot comes walking out and stands and turns and looks at them. I've never had anything like that happen. And I decided one day that I was going to go out and start using my hunting experience, my tracking, and my skills in the woods. Go out and actually start looking for these things and see if they are here in Florida. I just wanted to know the truth. So it didn't take too long, about my 3rd or 4th time out, going into some of the areas that I have hunted in the past, and I started finding footprints. And before, when I was hunting, I wasn't really paying any attention to any kind of human-looking footprints. I've heard of hunters out there, people out there walking around barefoot. I've heard of stuff like that before. I've been out hawk hunting with dogs, and I've come across other hunters. I come across this one guy. He was out there chasing after his dogs, and all he had on was a pair of shorts. No shoes, nothing. And he's out there hunting, chasing the something dog. So what I did when I started really finding something and I started trying to bring science into it, measuring everything, and started learning about doing forensics. So first I started finding the footprints, and I found where I could go back to certain areas and I would find those same size footprints again. I could go back again later, I would find those same size footprints in the same area. So I would start researching those areas. And at first I wouldn't even call myself a researcher. I was just out there just searching for the truth, looking for the truth. And I kept finding the footprints, I started finding hairs. I was looking on barbed wire fences because I knew animals would cross the fences and they would leave hairs hung up on the barbed wire fences. So I had a couple areas where I started really going through and searching along the barbed wire fences. And I was finding all the different animal hairs. And then I started finding some hairs that were clear. They had clear in them, they had green, they had browns and blacks, things like that. And I got a microscope and started looking at them. So I started learning how to do the forensics on the hairs. And now I have 2 different microscopes that I can go in and look. And I've actually done a lot of research on hairs so I would know what I was looking at and what I was looking for. And I've actually done a hair exam for Kathy where she found some hairs here in Ocala. They found some hairs that were snagged on an old tire that was out in the woods. And those were actually Sasquatch hairs. So I did that for her.
And recently I just found a stick near where one of my cameras were. It was a, what I call a tuning fork because it has like 2 and then, straight. And it had hair on it. And I couldn't believe it. I said, well, this could be the black moss. I mean, really, we have a lot of black moss out here. So I'm not saying it's here yet. I just today gave it to Tim T. So he'll take it and he'll go do some research on it and we'll find out soon which one it was. Black moss, bear, Sasquatch. We'll find out.
Yeah, the black vine moss is what we were calling it first. That will fool you. That fools a lot of Bigfoot researchers. It looks just like black hairs hanging off a tree limb.
It's called lichen horsehair. It's called lichen horsehair.
Yeah, horsehair fungi. Yeah, I've done a lot of research into that, and I know how to see it now when I look at it with the digital microscope. I can tell what it is right away. And then if I do find actual hairs, I can actually have a compound microscope now too that I can look on them, look for the medulla inside it. I can look at the outside of the hair for the scale shape on the outside of the hair. So I've learned a lot about that. I've found red hairs before on the top wire and the barbed wire, and I've had to pull them up where it had stepped over the fence and got the hairs on, and I've had to pull them up to get them back off. So I've found hairs like that. I've done a lot of stuff like that in the past. I've got using the game cameras a lot, and I started using the thermal camera. I got a thermal camera. If any of y'all know who Kerry Arnold was, he did 168 hours documentary. So I was going to help him with I was going to be on the team for the next one, for his part 2. And after talking to Kerry, I went out and bought me a thermal camera. And I did a lot of research on the thermal cameras. You can use them during the daytime or at nighttime. They don't work like a normal camera. They work off the heat. And I have caught a lot of things really close to us, really close to me, with that thermal camera, daytime and nighttime. So I've caught them within 15 yards of me. I've got some pictures back there. I caught one that I went back and did a comparison with me, with the thermal camera and the distances. And I figured that he was 15 yards from me. And you can see he's a lot bigger than me. I figured he was 9 foot tall. And you can see he's got a human looking face. So a lot of times I talk about quantum physics and I talk about the light spectrum because of quantum physics. The thermal camera was invented because of the thermal camera was invented because of quantum physics. And it was actually made for the military to use. And so I talk a lot about the light spectrum. And we have more, I've got where we use more and more tools now too that we can't see, like there's a lot of light, like the AM and FM radio stations that we listen to, that's light. X-rays, microwave, the radio frequency off the microwave, all that is light. And so we only see like 1% of light. We only see the rainbow colors of the light spectrum. So there's a lot more X-rays, gamma rays, ultraviolet. There's a lot more that we can't see. And a lot of times these tools are helping us to tell us that there's something there. Or like with the thermal camera, actually catch an image of something there that we can't see with our eyes. So they're around us a lot out there. I do all of my research, most all of my research in the Green Swamp, and I have maps back there on my board showing all the different management areas. There's a bunch of different wildlife management areas in the Green Swamp, and I've been in every one of them and found evidence. They're in every one of the management areas. They're in Coal Creek State Park, they're in Hampton Tract, the Richland Wildlife Management Area, Green Swamp East Tract, Green Swamp West. They're in all of them. Even south of there, they're in the Hillsborough, the Upper Hillsborough Wildlife Management Area, the Lower Hillsborough Wildlife Management Area. They're in every one of them. I've found really good footprints, and I'll find 6-inch footprints that are in line, and they're further apart than I normally step. And a lot of times you can tell that it's not somebody out there running down a trail or anything like that. And you can tell like when if they step in the mud, you'll see their foot slides a little, and you can tell their toes are not digging in, they're not running. So it's actually, I found them anywhere from like that 6-inch, 9-inch, 11-inch, 14-inch, 16-inch, I found 18-inch. A couple of times I found 18-inch footprints. So a long time ago, back when I was hunting, I was mainly looking for animal tracks. If I seen like a footprint, I would think it was a boot or something from another hunter being in that area. But I've got to where now I got to on my board about there. I show people how to measure the footprints, measure the feet, the step, the stride, how all that goes too. I've learned all that. So I'll show all that stuff like that too. And also, like Kathy was talking about slowing down the footage, I learned that too when I'm out there filming with the video. And that's all I do. I don't take pictures. I film everything video. And I can take and slow that down, and then I start seeing them. I've got some really good, or like my wife Lynette, she was walking behind me filming with the camcorder. So she's filming over my shoulder. And I'm looking at footprints because I'm following their footprints. And I actually got my thermal camera facing off this way. Well, she films over my shoulder because she's walking behind me too. And you can see two of them. One of them comes up really close in the palmettos. All you can see is his head above the palmettos. She pans around a little bit, and then as I'm moving on forward, getting closer to him, he disappears. When she pans back around, he's gone. And that one's really good. It looks like Patty. Like she was showing the picture of Patty up here, the famous Patty, where she has a strip across her eyes where there's no hair. He looks like that. He's got a strip of like dark gray skin where there's no hair. I catch a lot of stuff like that. And a lot of this, like they're talking about the paranormal, the UFOs, the orbs, all that. I show all that stuff on mine. I don't, I don't try to just do Bigfoot. I'll show all of it, because all of it's blending in together out there, all of it. There's places, a lot of times you'll hear where the orbs, people have seen orbs, they'll say they've seen Bigfoot, and then they'll say they've seen a UFO, or they'll see a UFO and Bigfoot at the same time. So we're coming across a lot of that too out there. And I got where I'm doing a lot of experiments. There's been a couple of times where I could actually hear them do vocal sounds with my own ears, but then there's times too where we catch them on our camera, or when we're filming, we'll catch them saying something. Like I've had them say like, "Hey Tim," and we'll hear them say other stuff too. Sometimes they're saying stuff you can't understand what they're saying. And I had one area I caught on an audio recorder. I was going up in, I set up an audio recorder up in a tree branch, had it camouflaged, And then listening to it after I went back and got it, you can hear, like when it gets nighttime, you can hear the different bugs and tree frogs, and you can hear all that stuff. And then all of a sudden you hear this female voice that said, "Watha," really loud, and everything went dead quiet. And then after a minute, you start hearing all the bugs and tree frogs and all that coming back.
What about getting zapped?
Yeah, I've been hit with the infrasound 2 different times. The first time was when I was hunting, years ago when I was hunting, and I never even thought about there being any kind of Bigfoot or anything like that here in Florida. Back then, I never thought about anything like that.
Sam, let me ask a question.
Yeah,
Hey, when you said the female voice said "wafa,"
yeah.
was it a scream? Was it a whisper? Was it in a tone of distress?
No, it wasn't. It was just like saying it really loud.
Okay.
Just like a real loud.
And it sounded like a woman's voice,
It
too.
was a female voice, yeah.
Because I've got recording during. I can tell you something.
Okay. Well, I kind of think it was like a Native American sounded female to me, is what it sounded like. Or maybe it was a Native American word that she was saying. Yeah. But we catch stuff like that, we catch stuff on audio. Even with my camcorder, when I'm walking around my camcorder, sometimes you'll catch something like that. I caught what sounded like a baby screaming, like a newborn baby that had just been born screaming. But yet none of us that were out there together, none of us heard it. None of us heard that sound. But I caught it on my camcorder and my GoPro. So we catch stuff like that. Here 2 years ago, I was out with, there was a group of us, 5 of us, and we were doing research. We were trying to get into this one area in the swamp. The GPS, the navigation GPS maps showed this area was 168 foot above sea level, and there shouldn't be nothing like that out there, so we were trying to get to that. So there's 5 of us grown men, and a stick comes flying in, a trajectory, and hits one of the other guys in the foot, hits him in the leg. And we stopped and we were all looking around. So there's no way that 5 grown men, especially some of us being military, or couldn't see something right there close by throwing a stick. So there's a lot of stuff here that's paranormal. I show a lot of orbs on my videos. I show a lot of thermal camera images, a lot of things like that. So there's a lot to this. I think a lot of it is spiritual, a lot of it's paranormal, and I actually think a lot of it too is them going into dimensions. And I do talk about the quantum physics a lot because I think that's going to explain a lot of this too, especially with the light spectrum. I talk about that a lot. A lot of the equipment we use is because of the light spectrum. I have a lot of stuff like that. I've been doing experiments with frequencies. I've been doing that a lot. I'll go out there and sit down and play frequencies really loud on a small Bluetooth speaker. And I've tried playing the 68 hertz when me and another friend were there. And with my camcorder sitting behind me right here filming, there's this little white thing that comes in and starts oscillating. And it comes over and it's flying around by my hat. We couldn't see it with our eyes, but my other camera's sitting here filming us too. Me and him's both sitting there still. He's got his hands in his pockets. My partner just with me on it too. And that little thing's over here is flying around. So there's nothing causing that. So it was something that came in on us. And I actually think that he actually attracts them too. That's another reason too, where I was out with him like that too, because I think he attracts stuff like that. He goes, my buddy Joey, he goes up to North Florida, and he goes up there on some private property, and he'll go out in the woods and sits in a tree stand, and he'll sit there at night in the tree stand, and you can see when he turns his light on, there's nothing but trees all around him. So he'll sit there with his phone at night and film, and you'll see orbs come in, and they'll be zooming around. They come up close to him, and I think he attracts them. I think he attracts stuff like that. And I think that was helping. I was trying the 68 hertz. If any of y'all have seen the Skywatchers on YouTube, they're doing studies with the UFOs where they can call them in
and they've got 9 classifications of UFOs. And I think my buddy Joey, I think he's got part of that too, where they're attracted to him. And I think he helped attract that little thing in. So I'll do experiments with frequencies, and I use other frequencies. I've sat there and used the 528 hertz frequency, and that's a frequency for healing and for love. It's been used to clean water. It's been used to help people clean up their DNA, help heal. And sitting there doing that, I've gotten where I look for little subtle things to happen. And sitting there playing that, I've had all the birds around start getting louder, and they come in close, and you can hear them really loud and close. I've had them do that with the 432 hertz, which is similar to the 528. It's also used for healing, for love. I've had the birds come in real close and do that. I've had another time where the 440 hertz, as soon as we turned on the 440 hertz, there was a huge big wind gust come around, blowing all around us. And then when we turn it off, the wind dies down. So I've had a lot of stuff like that. I learned to watch for little subtle things like that. We were playing another frequency, and all of a sudden you see this big leaf drop beside my buddy that's playing the frequency. There's a lot of things like that, and I think a lot of that's all connected. I have a YouTube channel, and I have my cards back there on the table. I have a YouTube channel and also a Facebook group. And a lot of us here, we all go out together at times. We all are on each other's Facebook groups. We all help each other. And you're going to have a lot of local researchers like this here that it's going to take us to find stuff and to keep learning how to bring all this stuff forward to people, because the regular scientists are not going to do it. And you're not going to hear the government say, oh, this is real. You're not going to see stuff like that. So it's just going to be up to all of us to show it and prove it's real. And we're all getting evidence out there, all of us. So if you go out in the woods, I encourage people to go out in the woods, go out there, have a good time, enjoy nature. And even if you go out there and just take some photos, when you go back home, put them on the computer and look at them, enlarge them a little bit, look at them, look around for things. And you'll learn a lot more too on our Facebook groups. Ours are, unfortunately, we had to turn them to private, from public to private, because you get a lot of people out there that are not open-minded. They want to ridicule people. When you go in there and show a really nice looking footprint, all of a sudden you got a bunch of people saying, oh, that's a bear, that's a bear. And we've had people like, they'll go on there and put laughing emojis on your stuff. So we've all had to do private. But y'all go on there, look at our Facebook groups. You'll actually be able to learn a lot more too about this stuff on those groups. You'll be able to see us showing a lot of things that most people are not going to show. And some of the other Bigfoot groups out there that on Facebook, they're not going to show stuff like that. Or if they do, then you get a whole bunch of people saying that they're not real. There's one that I used to go out with, one group, and she banned one of my friends that started going out with me. She met me, she went out with us. She wanted to see if what to look for and stuff, so she started going out on her own. When she posted something in that group, a picture of some of the stuff like you're seeing here, she banned her, said that's not real, you can't be showing that, and banned her from the group. And when I heard that, I'm like, okay, I heard about that, now why don't you come into my group and be my moderator and help us. And she helps us on a lot of different groups too. That was actually Rebecca, that was the one that had the dog. Her dog will actually stand and point at something that he's seeing, and Rebecca can sit there and take pictures of it. We have a lot of stuff like that. We try to keep people from ridiculing anybody. Try to keep everybody in our groups that are open-minded people, and we have a lot of people, like Kathy said, there's one of our friends in Australia. I've actually learned a lot from her too, with her being in the groups, that they'll help us with the different things like that, seeing things and seeing the photos, help teaching us about portals. lot of things like that, the different dimensions.
I have a question.
Yes.
What do you think it is about people that attracts phenomena like this?
I think it's their energy. Like with me, I think I have a real high energy. And I think they're attracted to that. I don't think they see us like we see each other as a person standing here. I think they see our energy. Or they see us and they see an aura of our energy.
So if they see that your energy is friendly or something?
Yeah, if they see your energy is friendly, I think they'll come get close to you.
Negativity just blows.
If you have a lot of negativity, I've noticed that people with a lot of negativity go out there, they won't never see anything.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, they already made up their mind before they went out.
Good point.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. And I do think that they know our intentions. And I've actually had the mind speak before too out there. And what mine was a picture. I had my wife with me and another lady was with us too. And I was leading them out. We had went up in one area looking around up along the edge of a swamp, along the edge of a cypress swamp. And I was leading them back out. And one of them put an image of a water moccasin in my head. And it didn't say snake or anything like that. It was actually the picture of a water moccasin and exactly where it was in front of me. And I stopped and told them, I said, there's a water moccasin right in there. I said, we got to go out and go around it and go back around this way. So I've had stuff like that happen. I've had dreams happen too that I believe was actually them causing it. I've had two, because I've actually seen two Sasquatch. I've seen one during the daytime and one at nighttime. Both times they were running. The one in the daytime, it was as big as I am, and it was gray. And it was running, and it was so big, it was like a flash of gray. And then the red one, I seen a red one at night. We were coming out of the trail, headed back to camp, and I had my flashlight. And I could see it in the flashlight. I could see it jump up and run. It was red. And the dream I had before that, I had two actually juvenile Sasquatch that come right up in front of me, standing right in front of me. I could see their gray skin on their face. They had black hair. Both of them looked the same like that. They showed me their teeth so that I could see what their teeth looked like. One of them, he took off running like a flash of smoke and then came right back, showing me his speed, how fast they could move. So I've had dreams like that before too, that I believe that it was actually the Sasquatch doing the dreams, that it's like a form of entanglement, quantum entanglement. So I believe in that too. So I've had a lot of things like that happen. And this is all just within the last 6 years that I started doing this. All right. Thank you all. Thank you.
Hey, are you good? Anything else? Okay.
Yep, that's good.
Hi. Hi, Brittany. What are you doing? Yeah,
Thank you.
James. So James is going to tell you about what happened earlier. And if anybody has any questions, now is the time to ask, and we're going to be having our drawing very soon. Okay? And if you didn't get in the drawing, for $5 you can make a donation. We do take cards, we do take cash. You can get in the drawing by $5. You also receive one of our bags over here with our logo.
And if you're wondering, well, did anybody have any questions for us, or anybody else wanted to share any experiences that happened to them?
Dan, you want to say anything?
Dan, you want to say anything?
The lady in the purple shirt?
I'll say something, I guess.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Then you.
I had my first.
Who? I think she had a question. You have a question? What's the question? Well, it might be a lengthy answer.
That's okay.
I believe it was you were talking about quantum physics quite a bit, which I got Tim.
Yeah, Dan.
I like to watch different documentaries and they touch on that. So, can you explain and refresh me what that is and how that you think that ties into everything?
The quantum physics is everything's made out of atoms and everything vibrates. And I believe they vibrate at a different frequency than we do. Everything everything vibrates at frequency, so the energy, the frequency, the vibration, all of that's part of quantum physics, and it's part of everything we see. But I think they vibrate at a different frequency than we do. I think that's why you can't get a blurry photo. I mean, that's why you get so many blurry photos. Every once in a while you can get, like if you're filming this way and you're over here, you can get a pretty clear image of them in your shot. But I think that has a lot to do with them having so many blurry photos. And I also believe because of the quantum physics, it tells us the different dimensions. And I believe they're using the trees and using somehow the trees like bows and stuff for portals that they're going in and out of their world of our two dimensions. I've even had psychics talk about them, like speaking with them mentally, that they're going to dimensions. One psychic, she said that she talked to him twice. The first time she got real sick when she talked to him, and the second time when she talked to him, she didn't get sick, but she was asking, why did I get sick the first time? And he said, because we were going through a different plane. That's what he told her. So I believe that has to reflect the quantum physics and stuff like that. I think that's why when we're filming, and we slow our videos down, then we can see them moving. They move a lot faster than we do. And then too, the light spectrum is part of the quantum physics. And that we're using a lot of different tools and cameras to catch different light and to catch them when we can't see them. A lot of times they're really close. I've caught them 5 foot from them and seen them put a real good face on the thermal camera. And I've caught them from me to Kathy, a 9 foot tall one with the thermal camera just standing there watching us go by. The 4 people, we could not see him with our eyes, but the thermal camera caught him really good. And you can see his face. He looks like kind of like an older Native American, or like almost like the Neanderthal type face. But it looks human.
Why do you think they're coming and going here?
I think they hunt here. I think they come here to hunt. Especially in Green Swamp, we have a lot of wild hogs.
Wild hogs?
The wild hogs, yeah. And they're real big in Green Swamp. When I was a kid, you could only shoot one wild hog, and it had to be a certain height. Now you can kill them all year long, no matter how big or small. You don't even have to have a hunt license. And I think the wild hogs are a real big food source for them. I had one hunter, he took me and my wife and a couple other guys out and showed us where he's seen a real big red one. He was archery hunting, and he was hearing them over in the real thick brush, and he thought it was hogs, and one actually stepped out. It's called Big Red. He's been seen so many times in the Green Swamp that they nicknamed him Big Red, and it was 15 yards from him, and he said he was shaking so bad, he said he pulled his bow back, just on instinct. He said there's nothing he could have done, he couldn't have shot it. It was so close to him. But he said it didn't step back out into the brush. And it was, so I think they come here to hunt. I think he had a hog stolen from him that he had shot. He trailed it, it was laser dead. It was some dude. He went to get his son to come back and help him get it. When he came back, the hog was gone, and they were following the blood trail. The blood trail was on the brush up here, like this high, like 6 foot up. The blood splashed on, from the thing carrying it on the shoulder. Yeah. And I've had a couple of hogs too that I've shot, and I believe they took it to kill. Yeah. But I went in, I found blood and stuff, and I couldn't find the hog. But I believe